Well, hello there everybody. Welcome back. And as you may recall, just a quick recap from last week. I cut the video short at the end of the 5-minute mark. I only realized as I was uploading the video that it's actually too long, and I made that call in that moment. So this is the introduction for the rest of the video. Last week you just saw the basics, you saw a little bit about my screens, how we get to work. This week you're going to see what we actually do. Day one, how do we start the recording process? Enjoy this video. To get you all on board, the first thing we do when we walk into the studio, day one, what happens? Obviously, I have the music ready, whether it be sheet music, dots, charts, whatever. In my case, because I compose the song, I often just have the stuff in my head and I don't actually write it out if I'm going to be doing everything. If I have other musicians coming in to perform alongside, I will have sheet music or studio charts written of some sort written out for them and prepared. In a later video, I will actually show you what they look like, that you can have an idea what we work from. First thing, we take the song and to determine the tempo. Now, often, if we have the sheet music or the chart, we will work from a tempo that is written there. Often the tempo will be quoted there. If not, I will play the song, tap tempo on a metronome, and get the tempo. Now, just to be clear, for those of you who don't know, a metronome is something that keeps time for musicians. And within modern technology, the digital ones, you can actually tap and then gives you a readout of roughly the tempo that you're at. So that's what we normally do. We sort of determine the tempo, and that's where we start, because now we create what we call a click track. That will be the guide for everything that happens from here on. The click track, which is vital. Some may refer to it as the metronome. I've done that on this song, obviously, because it's already partially recorded. So this is what the metronome would sound like. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it running through the masters out to the speakers. And that's what you're hearing right there. You're hearing those two speakers playing back the metronome. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. We set up the click. Just exactly the process that I took now. I get the timing. Here is where we actually include the timing or indicate the time. So right here at the top, you remember this is where the metronome is displayed. We will click over there and type in the metronome speed. So that's the metronome. The next thing one will do is you'll lay down a pilot track. You will notice this track right over here says pilot. Okay, that's the pilot track. What the pilot track is simply playing the chords. Now when we do that, it's done in a very simple way. It's not involved playing, it's not difficult. It may be something as simple as this. It may be as simple as that. To give you an indication of what you would hear, here's what it sounds like. Oh, no, I did that. So as you can hear, it's just playing a bunch of chords. I do believe that later in the song I got a little more excited and started doing things, whichever way. So this is the way you would lay down a pilot. And that's pretty much it. Pilot is now playing. You can see these are all grayed out because I muted them. That's the pilot. So I would play through the whole song like this. So that's essentially what happens there. We switch on the click, activate it, and then we lay down the pilot. Something simple, straightforward. You see, the pilot is just there that folks know where they are if ever we need to punch in or fix something and correct it quickly. Because as you'll find now, the next step is the drums. So once the pilot is laid down, we go to the drums. In next week's session, we'll have a look at how I do the drums, what the process involves and entails. So I hope you enjoyed this so far, just seeing the basic song setup, just the two tracks, the pilot and the click track running. For next week, we'll set up the drums, probably bass and maybe some acoustic guitars as well. We'll see how the process goes. Thanks for joining me. Please comment below if there's anything else you'd like to know or a way I could improve this video. My thought was that you as a listener may enjoy knowing what happens, how the process works. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gives you some insight into the mind and the heart of the creator. Next week, the aim will be to have a look at the drum setup. I look forward to seeing you guys then. Cheers, everybody.